For centuries, the entire enterprise of higher education has rested upon a single core human element: mutual trust. That trust relies on visible human interactions, one-on-one mentoring, open collaboration in the classroom, and individualized guidance from an instructor who understands a student's unique context. Without this baseline of trust between the student and the institution, the academic contract collapses. Learning requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires trust. Today, the drive for administrative efficiency is pushing universities to outsource many of those human interactions to invisible digital systems. We are seeing the rapid rollout of predictive risk scores, automated learning analytics, and black box grading algorithms. A student submits their work, data goes in, and an assessment comes out, often with no explanation of how the machine arrived at that specific number. This creates a structural dilemma. Universities must ask if they can responsibly integrate artificial intelligence when the opacity of these systems threatens the very trust education is built on. The first risk factor is algorithmic bias. Because AI models are trained on historical datasets, they inherit and replicate the hidden prejudices present in that data. In practice, this means an automated grading system will frequently penalize students who speak English as a second language, or those who use valid cultural and indigenous idioms. Their phrasing falls outside the dominant patterns the machine recognizes as correct. We also see a clear demographic divide in who uses these tools. Recent surveys show AI adoption heavily skew towards higher-income male students, potentially giving them a structural advantage in producing volume and refining work. Deploying these algorithms without strict oversight risks automating and amplifying existing systemic inequalities rather than providing a neutral evaluation. Blindly trusting an algorithm to evaluate student work compromises the foundational fairness of academic assessment. When generative AI first arrived, many institutions reacted in a panic, triggering an academic integrity arms race. This resulted in a wave of security theater. Universities leaned heavily into flawed AI text detection tools and invasive remote behavioral proctoring software to catch potential misconduct. The problem is that AI text detection is highly unreliable. Identifying machine-generated text at an institutional scale is currently impossible to execute with consistent accuracy. This surveillance causes extreme anxiety for students facing false accusations and fractures the collaborative bond between students and their instructors. Treating students as adversaries through algorithmic surveillance destroys the environment required for genuine learning. Then there is the hidden mechanism of public generative models. User inputs are ingested to train future versions of the software. What you type into the prompt today could become part of the public training data tomorrow. This poses severe risks for researchers. Uploading interview transcripts from human subjects, proprietary industrial data, or unpatented ideas into an AI tool puts that original contribution into the public domain prior to publication. This is why institutions like King's College London explicitly advise doctoral students and faculty to keep sensitive research data out of public AI tools. Data privacy in the AI era has become a critical institutional responsibility to protect intellectual property and human subjects. The necessary counterbalance to algorithmic opacity is a framework known as the human-in-the-loop model. Under this model, an algorithm might generate a preliminary score for an essay, but a human educator intercepts that output. The instructor retains the moral authority to adjust the grade based on context the machine missed. Keeping a visible log of these human adjustments shows the student exactly where the instructor intervened. They receive empathetic, contextual feedback rather than a cold numerical output. High-stakes academic assessments require a human mind to finalize the decision and ensure fairness. Moving past reactive bans requires a shift toward proactive ethical governance. This means building inclusive AI subcommittees that bring faculty, staff, and students together. This is the AI assessment scale. It provides instructors with a transparent framework to define exactly what level of AI assistance is permitted for an assignment, ranging from zero machine help to full collaboration. Writing these policies directly with students ensures the rules match how learning happens today while protecting human dignity. Responsible AI integration begins with an unwavering respect for human agency, long before a single line of code is ever written. Ultimately, the erosion of trust remains a far greater danger to education than the technical failure of the software itself. Next time on the Responsible AI Education series, we will explore how we measure actual learning in an automated world.